Welcome once again to our program for men only. We've been talking about how to be a man in your marriage, the kind of mentality that a man has. In a previous program, we talked about even that mental switch of going from being a boy, a young man, an adolescence to becoming a man. And I think one of the things that we see in today's society is the fact that we've sort of lost track of what manhood looks like. We used to have an idea, and it was even portrayed in the media and on television, but it has been since almost the 70s or so. Most of the men, especially most of the fathers, or a lot of husbands on TV and in the movies, just people, they look weird, they're stupid, they don't do the right things, and what have you. But you can be a real man in your marriage and in your relationships, and we're talking a little bit about what that looks like. Now, David, you said something in the break here that I thought was good. You like the car analogy. Why don't you share that? As a man, what does that mean?
Years ago, I found out that marriage was not going to be easy. It was going to take work, maintenance, and probably the easiest way for a man to understand this is that try to imagine that you're young, you're 18, 20 years old, and you're being given a brand new car. A wonderful car. You love this car. It's the greatest car in the world. There's only one catch. It's the only car you will ever have for the rest of your life. Giving that knowledge, you're going to take care of that car. You're going to change the oil. You're going to check the tires. You're going to do this. You're going to wax that thing. You're going to baby that car. You're going to maintain that car, because you know if you don't, it's going to rust out, die on you, and then you will be all by yourself. A marriage is much the same way. Once you get married to that woman, you can just drive her and drive her and drive her and drive her until she rusts out, and then you're on your own. Or you can maintain that wife like you would maintain that car, day in, day out. Take care of her. You take care of that woman, and she will take care of you.
Ooh, that is good analogy. But if I think Ed Cole said something. He said it's easier to obtain than it is to maintain.
Oh, yeah.
Some guys want to obtain a wife, obtain a girlfriend, obtain somebody living with, but it's a whole other ball game to maintain that relationship.
That's the difference between a boy and a man. A man knows about maintenance. A child wants to get things. A man knows how to maintain things.
So we said something. You talked earlier in the program about listening, and I heard the word value. So in a sense, a man values what he's got. And, it's like, if I value something I have, I remember in the neighborhood I lived in growing up, anything that you valued, you didn't leave in the yard because it wouldn't be there the next day. Because you had to take care of it. We had things stolen, grew up in a rough neighborhood. If you left anything of value in the yard or out on the steps or something, it would be gone the next day. So part of that, learning that value, you take care of what's yours. You maintain it. You treat it right. You take it inside. You protect it. And so in valuing your marriage, you protect it. You protect that relationship.
Yes, you do.
I did this, and this is so good. Just like on vehicles, you have maintenance schedules. So many miles, you got to change the oil. So many miles, you got to change. I found out you better change the timing chain when they tell you to change it. A lot of cars. Check this fluid. All these kind of things. That if you put in for the most part today, if most cars today, built today, if you maintain them and take care of them, they'll run 200,000, 250,000 miles. They're making pretty good vehicles today if you keep the maintenance up. And one of the things I've challenged, you talked about counseling earlier, sometimes challenging couples in terms of, do you have a maintenance schedule? What is it you may need in your relationship to maintain it? Whether, I think, Brandon, you mentioned a date night or something, or something like that, or even something. What are the maintenance things you need for a relationship?
I think date night is a good idea. If you're going to have a maintenance schedule for your marriage, might be a good idea not to let your wife see it.
Why is that?
Women are a little sensitive. If I'm just part of a program here, I'm going to be a little offended. But the idea is sound. It's Monday night, it's Saturday night, take your wife out. Okay, you're down the road, 3 months down the road, it's time to get out of town. Take her for an overnight someplace. Fortunately, I have a very low maintenance wife. For her, time with me is all she needs. We can go somewhere, we go down to the lake, we have a cup of coffee, just a half an hour here, 45 minutes there, just talking, where she can share her heart and find out what I think about things.
She wants you.
She wants me. I don't know why, but she,
We don't either, but
but I'm glad she does.
yeah. All right. Now, Kurt, I heard you don't want to show it because she'll hold you to it.
Right. My wife will.
Yeah. So you got to, if you mean if you tell your wife you're going to do something, you're going to have to do
Oh
it.
my gosh. Yeah, and she'll add to it too. So, but that brings to it, and most guys don't do it gracefully, but you just kind of go, okay, because that speaks volumes to her, and shows that she's important. So we built a little thing like, well, she wanted to put up a light for one instance. Well, that light went from changing that hallway light to the bedroom light is now a ceiling fan. And now we're changing doors. Now, I had to say, dear, this changing these doors is going to take a while. And she's like, okay, I'm okay with that. Good. But it was communication. And I lead into that because proper communication is key. And it's not just passing down the hallway saying, let's 6 o'clock will be 6 o'clock, It's not that. Especially with a child, a 19-month-old child, your time is very limited, and there's that time where you communicate the best you can, and there's a time where one parent just needs you to go get the child and take her away, to give it that time. And I've seen that time come, and I've actually exercised that a little bit more than my wife has. But
Yeah, I'm chuckling because all my children, my youngest is 12, but I knew when my wife needed time.
yeah, you'll see it.
Yeah, but when we're driving down the road and she goes, look, Tim, cow, moo. I'm going, she needs some adult time.
Yeah.
Adult time.
And back to, if you're paying attention to your wife and giving her the proper time that she needs, and just listen to what she says, she will tell you when she needs that break, and you will notice it before she even has to ask for it. And if she has to ask for it, it's too late.
Yeah. But I think it's interesting. You use the word communication, but in the midst of today with cell phones, text messaging, email, all that stuff, we communicate a lot, but we're not communicating. Now, communication is not. It's face to face. What your wife wants is face to face. She wants FaceTime.
Yeah.
Not FaceTime behind the newspaper or FaceTime, okay, honey, talk to me while I'm watching the game.
Right.
Now, I say that because there's a verse in the Bible that puts the responsibility on men.
Sure.
It says that a man is supposed to dwell with his wife in an understanding way. God puts the responsibility on us as men to understand our wives, to value our wives, to take that time that, okay, we're going to, whether it's a cup of coffee or going down and just going for a walk at the beach, or whether it's taking the child, for a while, or if it's getting a babysitter and say, I just want to go out and let's have dinner and talk.
Right. And all that doesn't happen overnight.
No.
And it's not all of a sudden you just take the magic pill or drink the magic drink, and now you're all this great thing. It's work.
Thank you.
It is, and I'm growing daily. I'm trying to grow daily. And if you're paying attention and want to grow daily, you will grow daily. If you search out the knowledge too and associate with people that will get you to where you want to be. I heard many top people say that they'll be able to tell where you are in life 5 years from now by the people you hang around with and the books that you read. Mm-hmm. If you want to change, if you want to be a better person, you read better books, you hang around better people. People will act like elevators. They're either going to keep you at the same floor you're on, they're going to take you down to a floor that you don't want to be, or they're going to take you to a floor where you're trying to get to.
So in terms of marriage, even sometimes maybe to help your marriage is get around some people with good marriage.
Exactly right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Brandon, what do you think? You learning anything? Are we teaching you anything?
I'm learning.
You're the newbie. You're still wet behind the ears.
Yeah. Well, I like analogies as well. And I heard when you were talking earlier about the car, I was thinking of golf. I mean, I'm a sports guy, but I was thinking of golf and how a lot of times as in golf, you'll have a caddy, and we'll relate that to the wife, and you're going to be the one that makes the decision, but their help is definitely going to be there because they see things that you don't see, like David was saying, and you're going, okay, I've decided I'm going to do this. A lot of times when you get a little bit of pride and you go, oh, I'm going to drive it, 350 yards, and the caddy's going, no, you're not. you know, let's be real. Let's be real. You're not going to do that. Let's, okay, let's do this. Let's take it this way. And it's the teamwork there, even though it's considered a individual sport. It's the teamwork there that makes that person be able to succeed. It's just like marriage, like you need that teamwork. You need her alongside you.
Yeah.
If you don't have her alongside you, you're not going to make it.
Yeah, exactly.
You may be able to make it somewhere, but not with her.
Yeah, exactly right. For one instance, we were working with a group and getting a project done. And my wife, when we, during it, she says, "I think you offended so and so and so and so." And I'm like, "No, I'm being good. I just read this book, man. I'm doing good, And she goes, "You might want to go talk to him." I'm like, oh, really? So Chance got right, and I did. Yeah. And I had to man up and take the responsibility for my actions and actually apologize and explain that I'd take the next step. So.
Yeah. Now you guys talk. We've heard that team, and it's interesting to me. I think of the great sports. We're somewhat in the basketball season. The great basketball players are not just the ones that score the most points. Mm-hmm. The great ones are the ones that make the team better.
Sure.
They have a way. Now, one of my favorite basketball players was Magic Johnson. Now, when Magic Johnson had to be put in a spot where he had to score points, he could score points. But he had a way of making his team better by getting the ball to them in the right spots, and then and so they could do well. And so somewhat as a man, you got to think a little. It's not just about me. It's about how can I make my team, this marriage, this family better. Guys, thank you, man. It's been good. This has been a good discussion. I hope that we've shared something with you that'll help your marriage. I believe. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I think there are some good things that if you take the time to maybe, if you see this, you can get this on the internet, on YouTube as well. You might want to watch this a few times just to pick out some things that might help you in your marriage or help you in your relationship. Divorces are at epidemic levels, and you can learn some things just by some things we shared today. If you can get those in your life, it'll make your marriage sweeter. Somebody said marriage can be the closest thing to heaven or the closest thing to hell on this earth. I'm enjoying the heaven. And everything we talked about is some of the things that help that heaven on earth. And you can watch this program and it'd be a help to you. And listen, if you need to call us, if there's some way we can help you, our information will be here at the end of this program. You can feel free to give us a call. God bless you, and we'll see you again next time.